The Kansas City Chiefs are now 4-0, while the Los Angeles Chargers lose their second straight game in the 17-10 loss to the Chiefs, which is their 11th straight home loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. But there's a little bit of an issue because currently, Rashee Rice, it's feared that he's torn his ACL. Reports won't be in until next week when they finish out their entire testing. But as it currently stands, the fear still is that Rashee Rice has torn his ACL. Nothing confirmed, but we'll wait and see. But yeah, no, Chargers scored 10 points very early on, all in the first quarter, didn't score a single time the rest of the game. And that was off an interception from Mahomes and a fumble. So who knows what the Chargers are going to look like moving forward. They are banged up, but I want to know how big of a loss could this be for the Kansas City Chiefs if Rashee Rice did indeed tear his ACL?
I think that's pretty big. I mean, he's been a big player for them so far this year. He's kind of the guy down the middle there. They saw him the 10, 12-yard pass, and he's very good at that. He's been very reliable, much better than last year. He's grown a lot. Their receiving core, I think, a little thin if they lose him. They have to rely more on Kelsey, and they have to rely more on Worthy. And Worthy looks good. He looks good, but he's the guy that's going to be the deep ball, the speed burner. And that he's not really the dink and dunk kind of guy. I think that's what Rice is specialized in. So, yeah, if he's out, I think that's a problem. I mean, they'll have to go to Juju Smith-Schuster, and we've seen what he can do in the last couple of years. He's really seemed to have lost a lot. So, I don't know. Maybe they'll be in the hunt for Davante Adams, right? It sounds like there's a rumor that he might be on the trading block here. Maybe they would step up and get him, but he's going to command a lot of money, so I don't know. We'll see. But my two takeaways, again, from this game. The Chargers, as you mentioned, they lost 17-10. It's their second straight loss. Their sixth straight loss to the Chiefs, 11th straight home loss when the Chiefs are playing at home to the Chiefs. So they have a very poor record against the Chiefs. Their offensive struggles offset what I thought was a very strong defensive performance. The Chargers scored 10 points early, but never scored again. And they had too many penalties. The defense was without Bosa and James, which is big, right? They held the Chiefs to 10 points until a score late in the middle of the fourth quarter. The O-line has had two injuries too, Slater and Alt. Herbert was pressured all day long, 1 for 5 in the fourth quarter, 16 of 27, 179 yards, 1 TD. He's banged up too. He's got the high ankle sprain. The Dobbins, their running back, only had 30 yards on 14 carries. I don't think this loss defines the Chargers because of those injuries, particularly on offense and defense. They get those guys healthy. I think that to play the Chiefs this close is only a 1 touchdown loss, and it was tied till the middle of the fourth quarter. And I think there was a coaching mistake by Harbaugh there when the Chiefs were down there the Chargers were down there on the third 3-yard line, and they went for it on fourth down and didn't get it. And the Chiefs then took over, changed the momentum of the game, went right down the field and scored that touchdown to put themselves ahead by a touchdown. A field goal, it was tied at the time. A field goal would have put them up by 3. It could have been a different game. I think I really think that was a mistake. I would have kicked the field goal. On the other side of the ball, the defining thing for the Chiefs, I think they continue to show the heart of a champion. And they did it again on Sunday. They now have 10 straight wins dating back to last year. They started out terrible. They had 2 turnovers on their first 2 possessions. They got down 10-0. Mahomes, 19 of 29, 245, 1 TD, 1 interception. He really has not looked great this year, but he's playing winning football. They're winning these games. Hunt, they brought back Kareem Hunt. He had 14 rushes for 69 yards. Kelsey stepping up when Rice got hurt. He had 7 for 89. He passed Tony Gonzalez for the most receptions in franchise history for the Chiefs. Worthy, I think he's a guy that's going to keep getting better and better. He's looking more and more like the second coming of Tyreek Hill for Kansas City at 54 yards and a TD catch. They're the third team to start 4-0 after being down a TD in each game. So I for the Chargers, I said the offense struggles offset a strong defensive game, and for the Chiefs, they continue to show the heart of a champion. Even though they get behind, they come back and find a way to win, even though they don't playing their best football. If they ever get to playing their best football, look out.
Well, what is their best football? Because what we've seen from the past couple years of the Chiefs is it's just late game Mahomes Magic. That's their best. Is it Travis Kelce catching 12 balls for over 100 yards? We just saw a little glimpse of what Travis Kelce still is in this game, but is it Xavier Worthy now instead of Tyreek Hill going 75 yards? I think the Chiefs are when they're at their best, when Mahomes is dinking and dunking, because that's what's happened the past couple years. And what have you seen the last couple years? Mahomes and Andy Reid and the rest of the Chiefs lifting up a Lombardi trophy. Yeah. So the way they've kind of been playing is what their best is. Yes, they were extremely flashy, and they look great with Tyreek Hill and the bombs, but really, they're kind of doing the Patriot thing. It's a better look, it's more fun, but it's the Patriots. They're taking the easy way, dink and dunk. How big of a concern would this be for the Chiefs? I think my answer might shock a couple people. I'm not concerned at all. Not an ounce. Because what we saw last year was Mahomes have arguably the worst receiver core last year, and he lifted up a Lombardi against one of the better defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL last season, the San Francisco 49ers. But I also think that there's an opportunity for the Chiefs to capitalize on a potential available wide receiver. I think Davante Adams is going to the Chiefs because I don't think he's going to go to another bum team, and I think the way the Jets are looking, the Jets kind of look like the same old Jets. How do you lose to Bo Nix when he throws for 60 yards? I don't know. Rodgers does not look the same as he did during his MVP run, but I think that's expected because he's not aging gracefully like Tom Brady did. And I think there could be a potential struggle between Robert Saleh and Rodgers, as we've seen in just their mannerisms in the post-game conference. But I do think that Davante Adams, he's looking at the Chiefs. I think the way that the Raiders are now shopping him after Davante Adams says, I want to stay in Las Vegas, I trust words and actions. What Davante Adams had an issue with last year that we saw on the receiver show is that he had a problem with Jimmy Garoppolo at the quarterback. He was actually the reason why Garoppolo got benched. So I'm going over what has happened in recent history. Davante Adams got a quarterback benched. Now Antonio Pierce is saying that people made business decisions, and now supposedly Antonio Pierce liked a Sports Illustrated Instagram post of someone saying that Davante played his last snap with Las Vegas. Could he fat finger it? I'm not entirely sure. Is he trolling? Maybe. But now, all of a sudden, a day after that comes out, now the Raiders are supposedly shopping and potentially opening up calls for Davante Adams. I think there's a serious shot, and I think the Chiefs should capitalize because it gives you just another receiver. Because if we take a look at their losses so far, Hollywood Brown's out for basically the entire season, the entire regular season at least, and now if it comes out that Rashee Rice tore his ACL, he'll be done for the year. You also have Pacheco out for a number of weeks. Travis Kelce, while we just saw what he could be, what we've seen recently is slow start. Maybe he'll get into it as the season goes on. But I think when it comes down to this game, it's the classic Chiefs game. Defense, low scoring, late drive, touchdown, and then when it matters the most, it's either Mahomes makes a great play or Chris Jones makes a great play. It's never the Chiefs just blow him out, because we've seen so many close games where it comes down to a penalty or just one really phenomenal play by one particular person on either side of the ball for the Chiefs. So I'm not worried at all. What I would be concerned with is that if they go up against a team that's not completely banged up like the Chargers were, if they don't have a major deficiency in their offensive line like the Ravens do, if they play a healthy team, what would happen? Because Mahomes has thrown an interception in basically every single one of these games. He has not played very well, but they keep winning. I'm saying, what happens if a team finally catches on and they don't choke, where you don't get a defensive pass interference call when it's 4th and 16? What happens with that? What happens when your offensive line doesn't have a rookie at right tackle and just a bad right guard, and Chris Jones can't just barrel through two guys? That's what I'm wondering. What happens if you don't go up against a team that has their two left and right tackles, they're both injured, and the best pass rusher on your team banged up, and your best safety banged up? When it comes to the Chargers, though, defensively, having those two guys out, defensively, Derwin James and Joey Bosa, and still only allowing 17 points, that's to be commended, because if this was Brandon Staley's defense, they would have gotten blown out. There's already a massive change when it comes to the Chargers, and that's just it. First of all, it's culture. That's the major thing. There's a culture shift in Los Angeles. I think the second thing would be the dynamics of how this team works is different. What we see on paper is now actually being put on the field, where it's, we look at all these big-time, big-name players, how they perform under Brandon Staley. It's like, why are you so disappointing? You're giving up the most yards, the most points in the first 4 years of a quarterback's career, while he's scoring the most points in the first 4 years of somebody's career. That doesn't work. When it comes to Jim Harbaugh now, it's like, okay, now we're actually giving our quarterback an opportunity, except when your 2 tackles are injured. Then there's a serious problem. So I was impressed with the Chargers defense, disappointed in the result, but I have no problem with the Chiefs if they indeed lose Rashee Rice to a torn ACL, because they'll just do what they always do. Dink and dunk. I think it'll be little to no mistakes from Mahomes. When it matters, he'll make no mistakes whatsoever. Late game penalties just come with the Chiefs. It's part of the package deal when you play the Chiefs.
That benefit them, the penalties. Yeah.
I would say so, yeah. Just late game penalty. Honestly, we take a look at some of these games. Mahomes kind of influences the penalties. Not in the sense of the refs are cheating. You throw it 4th and 16 high against the Bengals. You're basically hoping there's a DPI. That's not for a completion, because that's a very, very difficult catch to make. And there was a DPI there.
No, the defensive player there made a huge mistake.
That's what I'm saying. You're enticing the other team to make a mistake.
He tried to intercept it. He just had to push it away. It was 4th down.
Right. You're enticing the team to make a mistake. You're saying, here, I'm going to throw it this way. You screw up. And then so far, that's happened a number of times. Yeah. So I'm not worried at all. The Chiefs will be the Chiefs. They'll have a great run, great defense, great coaching. They have the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
I forgot they have Hardman, too. He hasn't played hardly at all yet. He's a backup receiver that won the winning Super Bowl touchdown.
Right. Yeah, on the little option play.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this also. In order for the Chargers to have success, obviously they're going to need to get healthy. But you also can't have Justin Herbert out there with a high ankle sprain that he re-aggravated the prior week, and then have your offensive line in the fourth quarter. You can't have your offensive line give up 6 of 8 pressures. He was pressured on 6 of 8 of his fourth quarter dropbacks. You can't allow that to happen. When it matters most, you need to come up strong, and if you're out down your 2 tackles against Chris Jones, against that great defense, I mean, for a large part of the game, nobody was open. The running game was basically nothing. It was nothing. J.K. Dobbins had no openings. Gus Edwards was rendered ineffective. The touchdown to McConkey, that was just I'm throwing it in his vicinity. I hope he gets open, and I hope he catches it. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, McConkey could be an interesting prospect to look at to grow with Justin Herbert, but as it stands, you need to get healthy. That's one of the problems with the Chargers.
Yeah.
Offensive line gets banged up.
I think if they get healthy, I picked them to get into the playoffs. I think they still could do it.
I think there is an opportunity, but health will be a major concern. Luckily, though, I don't know if last week I would have played Justin Herbert, because this week you just played the Chiefs. I maybe would have sat him. He ended up re-aggravating his high ankle sprain, so we'll see how he feels moving forward. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.